Hello, and welcome back to another 6-scale mega review with me, your host, That Metro Mania, and welcome to what could arguably be the longest video I've ever put on this YouTube channel, and probably will to the longest time ever. I decided, while doing the individuals, what if somebody just wants to sit there and watch all of them? Well, here we go. Here are all of the boxes. We've got Winston Zeddemore, we've got Ray Stantz, Peter Venkman, and Egon Spengler. All of the boxes are identical, pretty much exactly, except the names on the front, which is fine because that's fun. I like the box design. I love how it looks like the names on the outfits. I love the little ghost on the bottom. All around good stuff. You can see on the tops of each one it says Ghost Hunting Squad. On the backs of every single one, it's pretty much the exact same thing. A bunch of warnings and the Ghostbusters logo. Inside, we have a completely different story. We've got a nice mural of the Busters here. We got our Ecto-1, our Stay Puft, all of the Ghostbusters. It looks really nice. I like it. It says Ghost Hunting Squad. There's some comic booky stuff on the back, but it's still pretty much the same kind of thing overall. So not too bad. But obviously the fun here is of talking about the Ghostbusters. So why don't we get them all out and start this long video-a-thon. So what can I say? It's a Ghostbuster. This is something that a lot of people I know have been wanting because they didn't get the original Blitzway ones, and they might not get the new Blitzway ones because I've heard that those are going to be kind of limited. And then it's now up to me and people like me to help you decide if these are worth picking up, if you can find. And, join me on this adventure of one at a time, starting with Egon as we go over every single individual Ghostbuster so you can make the educated decision to pick these up or not. Because I know there's definitely some give and there's definitely some take, and we'll have to see overall whether it's a worthwhile endeavor for you or if it's not. So why don't we take him off of the spinning turntable here and actually take a look at the figure and all of the stuff going on here. So this is the fun part. We get to go over Ghostbuster accessories. So let's start with the most basic one. We've got this radio. They use it, those big chunky radios that they used back in 1984. They were using this to communicate like in the hotel in that first outing. You can remember Peter was holding it when he got slimed. So, it's a fun accessory, and it does just kind of slide into his belt. It's probably not going to be perfect because I've only got one hand, but it's not bad. Then we've got the PKE meter, which is nice. It's okay. I mean, it's kind of small, so it's hard to detail. You can see that there are the little silver studs on the side, which would light up. It does open up. So you can pretend like there is indeed a scary ghoul. I do have a life-size one of these, so I could say this is pretty not bad. It's overall really, really nice. So I'm happy about that. Then we have our proton pack, which does light up, but I don't have batteries for it, and I don't have a screwdriver to see if there are batteries and I'm just missing something. But there's a lot going on here, and I love it. It's pretty straightforward. It's very delicate for the most part. Be careful of this. This is supposed to be sticking down, and mine bent, so if you bend it too much, it will break. But it is a lovely piece. You can see all the ribbon wires and all the regular wires. You can see the cyclotron here at the bottom, which will probably light up. There's so much good going on here. And there's a warning on the top. There should be, there's more words on the side and one in the middle. It's really nice. I love the way this looks. My biggest concern, or my biggest issue, is that there's a back piece, but there's no center strap like they have in the movie to strap it on center-wise, like click into place belt. So they missed that. But other than that, pretty good. And you can see we have the tube here, which leads to our Neutrona wand, which in the description says it lights up, but it definitely doesn't, since that is most definitely a sticker, unless the front here lights up, which I could kind of believe. It did have the wire here that's supposed to be from here to here, but it broke off almost as soon as I opened it up, which is a shame. It is a very delicate piece, so be careful with that. But the Neutrona one also looks really good. It's got pretty much everything it needs on it. It's got a nice metal weathering. So I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy with this overall, because again, I have one of these, so I know what it looks like in real life. And it's pretty smack on. I'm pretty happy with that. So, not bad. We do have the beam, which does plug in. You can see there is a specific hole here at the top, and it does just slide over that, so you can have your proton pack blasting away, which looks awesome. And then we have the second sculpt. So like I said previously, the first sculpt is pretty much modeled after the Blitzway one, if not just re-sculpted. The second sculpt is their free-handed attempt for pretty much all of them. And it's not great. Yeah, let's see what happens when we put the glasses on. The glasses are a game changer for the other one. Alright, with the glasses, it's not as bad. It's still not great. I don't see myself using this. Oh! But it's a rough sculpt. The glasses are nice, though. They're pretty sturdy. They feel sturdy. I don't feel like these are going to break like other glasses I've had in the past, like the concrete-faced Trinity from The Matrix. But yeah, secondary sculpt, not as good as the initial one. I think even the paintwork is a little lesser on it, but not too drastic. Yeah. It's a weird choice, but, you know, if you want your Egon screaming, despite, you know, feeling so out of place in character for Egon, there you go. So I'm not going to put the backpack back on so we can look at all the detail here. But looking at the head sculpt, I can say the regular head sculpt is actually pretty nice. I do like the sculpt. It's not perfect, which is pretty much how you could talk about every President's Toys figure ever. But it is still kind of nice, especially with the glasses on. You can see Egon in there. It's not like I'm not getting some sort of representation of Egon Spengler. So I don't hate it. The price is a little hefty, so I feel like it should have been a little better. But I bet most of the price probably went into them trying to figure out how to engineer this proton pack. Because none of these Ghostbusters got the ecto goggles. I don't think any of them come with a ghost trap either. They barely come. They come with like one fake accessory per thing that they had. Like Ray has a cigarette. He's got the PKE meter, which I'm happy about because I'm glad a PKE meter got made. But yeah, the sculpt isn't bad. It feels kind of small, but that's mainly because the suit is a little chunky, which, you know, it is because it's a big chunky suit. Going down, we do have the suit here. You can see his name, Spengler, looking really good on that black with the red lettering on it. It's a lot smaller than everyone else's because Spengler is a long last name, just like Zeddemore. You know, I guess they're all kind of big. Stantz is probably the best one, but it's close. And Venkman is also kind of long. But it does look really good. I love the way it came out. The Ghostbusters logo right there is really good. He ain't afraid of no ghosts. I love Egon, so I'm glad that this is the first one I've gotten. And I will say, suit-wise, everything is really good. I'm not worried about this suit in the slightest. It's pretty much just the sculpt that's taking me out of it, because it's just not as perfect as it could be. Coming down, we do have the belt, which has a bunch of jangling keys. Another big point of content, there's no PKE holder on this belt anywhere. None of them have any means of holding their equipment, even if they didn't have it, which, like I said, there's no ghost trap, so that means there's no ghost trap holder. But in this case, there's no PKE holder. So he's got no way to just hold it on his belt. He's got to either hold it in his hand or not hold it at all, which is a shame because, you know, he can hold it. Here we have the, like I said earlier, the walkie-talkie clip. So the walkie-talkie gets a holder, but the PKE meter doesn't. It's like they watch them. Obviously, they don't have like the designs of every character because they have to just kind of watch the movie and find all the pictures. They don't get access to the behind-the-scenes stuff because it's third-party. But still, I mean, just look at what Hasbro's been releasing, man. You could see that they had a PKE meter holder and a ghost trap and a ghost trap holder. It's not like it's not there. Yeah, the belt's got a couple clips on it, which make you think that it can hold something, but it can't. Then we got this tube that I haven't quite figured out what to do with yet. I know it's kind of like spooled up on their side, but it's kind of hard to find a place for it. And then we've also got this thing that I don't really remember at all. So I just kind of clipped it to the back here so it's in and out of the way. And then from here, it is just straight, just pants all the way down to the boots, which are all one big piece, which is unfortunate. So it's kind of hard for him to stand. But all in all, I'm happy. I've got Egon here. I cannot wait because I've got Ray and the rest. I got Ray coming in, and then the next day, then I should have Peter and Winston here really shortly, so we can have the whole crew sooner than later. And then the next problem will be figuring out where to put them. And since I don't have any other Ghostbusters, we're gonna skip comparisons for now, which is, you know, unfortunate, but we'll come back around on that. And, you know, maybe I will have a couple Ghostbusters soon, sooner than you might think. So we'll have to just wait and see. But for now, let's move on to the next part of the video. So here we have him on the spinning turntable, and if you watched the previous one, you notice I now have the lights on this guy. Figured it out. You have to separate the backpack from the back piece. I'll show you that in the next part of the video. But it takes 2 CR, 3032s, I believe. You just got to make sure that you close it all the way. I was sitting there struggling forever because I wasn't closing it all the way. But those lights look super cool, and we'll talk about that again in the next little bit. But Ray here does look good. Just like with Egon, I'm seeing a lot more goodness in the main sculpt rather than the alt sculpt. But for the most part, everything is looking pretty spiff and dandy. I cannot wait to have these guys side by side so I can see just how good they look together. But first, we have to take Ray off of the spinning turntable and talk about him and all of his fun goodies, of which there are less than there should be. So, just like with, Egon, Mr. Aykroyd here comes with his proton pack, which looks stunning. Absolutely stunning. We've got some nice warning labels all over. We've got this little piece, which, again, has bent its way. And very carefully, I'm going to bend it back because it is a delicate piece. Integral to the ghostbusting piece, integral to the ghostbusting technology there. This one hanging annoying little thing. We got our rainbow ribbons, which look nice. Our red cables going all along the sides. And now we finally have the working lights. So this button right here will activate your lights, which will then activate the cyclotron and power it up. And there is no noise, but I can do it for you. So it also activates the light on the Neutrona wand there. It's not as bright, but you can kind of see there is a bit of a light there. It's a kind of a fun one. I wish it was more of like a... because these are fun moving effects. This looks awesome. The way the blue lights up and the way the red cycles around is really nice. And to get to that light form, you do just need to pop the back off here. Small little screwdriver, 2 CR30232s or whatever, 3032 or 2032, something along those lines. I can't remember. I will put a picture somewhere. And then you're Humphrey, because then you get these awesome, awesome lights, which I've now retroactively gone back and added to Egon. But just like with Egon, the Neutrona wand also looks really nice. This one actually has the cable attached, so bonus points. It's not broken. There is just like a little sticker there to show the power meter, but all the buttons seem to be there. Switches and labels. We got a little scuffing on that side. And just like with the other one, you can flip it up, and I wish it was more of a slide rail, but you just kind of connect it and it should sit in place. Along with that, just like with Egon, we got the beam, so you could beam, and it connects just like the regular one. So you just take it, find the right angle, and you slide it over. Right as rain. Looks good to me. And last but not least, we have our secondary sculpt. Now, you know, Ray here didn't get a scared sculpt. Everyone else got a screaming sculpt. Ray got a, you know, slightly agape mouth, which you'd go, oh my God, you know, Ray must be fearless. No, it's because he has a problem. Ray has a nicotine addiction that must be solved with cigarettes. So Ray comes with his iconic cigarette, which is cool and all, but this look doesn't make any sense unless he had the goggles or a ghost trap, of which he comes with neither. I'm currently trying to procure one in both for this guy, because Ray feels so empty without it. Because, you know, I got cigarette look here, which is okay at best. It does not look the best. It's got like a slightly open mouth. It doesn't... No, I'm not quite feeling the Aykroyd from this sculpt. But again, I'd probably feel a lot happier if I got goggles on his head and if I had a ghost trap maybe in his hands. I think that would do wonders for a figure like this. But if you ever wonders what a figure like this looks like up close, here we go. So we do have a soft but alright likeness of Dan Aykroyd here. You can see his hair is a weird shape. He's got like a bush coming out the front there, whereas everything else is staying where it receded and is still there. The face itself looks great from certain angles, like here per se. You could definitely see some more Dan than up front, which is okay, but it does kind of look like any random schmo you'd run into in New York City, which in this movie, he is kind of any random schmo you would run into in New York City. So I guess points, but still it's not quite to the likeness that it could be. It's a little soft, which again, I believe these are recast off of Blitzway, so that would make sense as to why it's a little soft. But still, the sculpt, I feel like, is almost there. What I don't like is the hair, because it all kind of like melts into itself. So it's got like this gooey feeling. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but I don't feel like there's any hair definition. It almost feels animated. Like, I feel like this is the same hair, kind of same feeling I have with like Captain Carter from What If. It just feels like one kind of mass. It doesn't feel like hair, which I get. It's harder with black hair because it's all kind of like darker, so there's no real definition to it as much as like lighter hairs, I would say. But still, it feels a little off. Other than that, we have our normal ghost-busting suit. Ray's is a little bit more open than Egon. Egon is, pristine. He's clean. Ray is a little bit more loose. He's lax. He gets a little sloppy from ghosts in the middle of the night. Those are the kinds of things that Ray's kind of doing. And just like Egon, he's got a very nice looking suit. He is a little bit bigger because Ray in the movie is a little bit bigger. Egon's a little bit more lanky, so it makes sense. So you can see a bit more of this black here, or the undershirt, which is nice. I do like that there's slight little variations to these guys that'll help you, even just, silhouette-wise, help you see the standouts. You can see the stands there on his breastplate thing. In all, pretty good jumpsuit. We got our Ghostbusters logo on that side. Obviously, we've got a nice pocket thing, for his pens on that side. pretty good stuff. We do have the belt. The belt for me on this one came not disassembled. It came like just off. It like fell off. It fell apart. It is just an easy click and attach. If you have any of them, you can use them as an example to kind of see what you could be doing differently. Obviously, I forgot to point out, but he also has a radio just like Egon. It is just clicked right into the belt when you get him, so it is easy to forget that it's there, but it is indeed there. The only one I will be having holding a radio will be Venkman for the getting slimed scene, because obviously iconic Peter Venkman scene of him getting slimed by Slimer, their trusty companion. And on this side we have the Gizmo doodad, which is also fun. Lower down we have our pants, which have the tube of curliness, which I've curled around the doodad and kind of just jammed around his pants. I think I've done an alright job at kind of containing the tube, so it doesn't look as messy as it did with Egon. And then from there, we do just have regular pants and those same boots that Egon has, all one piece, straightforward. Not much else you can do with that. So, solid, not perfect, missing accessories that are desperately needed, especially for the price point. I got more for less with like Ghost Rider per se. Just the fact that they couldn't, I don't know, recast the Ecto goggles or get a ghost trap. Awful. And I'm going to keep saying it because I feel like I'm being robbed. Like, I feel like essential accessories are missing. Like, I could understand it. You know, Egon doesn't get a Twinkie because it's a one-off sentence. That's fine. But something like Ray missing a part of his character from the movie, especially if you're going to try to give him the look where he's missing the thing, it annoys me. But let's try to remedy that feeling of annoyance by bringing out Egon and finally having two Ghostbusters stand next to each other. Been waiting long enough, like 2 years long enough, so let's see how they look. More here. Just like every other Ghostbuster, the outfit, super nice. The proton pack, super cool looking. And obviously we've seen it twice now, so it's hard for them to screw it up by the third one. Where we get to with the same problem as the first two seems to be the sculpt isn't quite perfect. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But for the most part, there's an overall goodness to it. Because like I said, the costume looks nice, the backpack looks nice, the lack of accessories looks fantastic, you know how that is. But I'm happy with most of it. It's just not all of it, which is, again, I feel like I'm just beating a dead bush horse here. But man, come on, just the head sculpts. And I'm not even a big fan of the way the Blitzway one is with the new one, because I don't like that it's an open mouth. I feel like it needed two, but that's a different thing. Anyway, let's get him off of the spinning turntable here and talk about Winston Zeddemore. So, just like the other two Ghostbusters we've looked at so far, the accessories are pretty much non-existent. We get the little walkie-talkie on his belt there. We get, obviously, another one of these proton streams, which, again, they look really nice. I like the lemonade to pink lemonade color mixing here. I like the little lightning around it. I think these are fantastic accessory. Good job, Present Toys. You got one. We got one. But the other one is this weird, like, kind of scared head sculpt where his eyes are looking up at a weird angle. I don't know what it is, but all of the scared head sculpts have like an eye looking up thing going on. And this one kind of looks like he's dead. Like he's like, so I don't really know what the deal with this one is, but I hate it. I genuinely just hate this sculpt. Because it's only like minorly shocked, but because his eyes have rolled up just that slight bit, it just kind of looks like he's like dead and he got shot and he wasn't expecting it. But, you know, that's it for Winston accessories. Other than that, we've got our proton pack, we've got our neutrona wand, and we've got this normal head sculpt, which looks fine. I think it's an okay head sculpt. It's not really spectacular. Like, it's not blowing me away. It looks like it's kind of too light in places. The hair looks a little whack. They got the line, though, which I always forget he has. So that's good. But I just feel like this sculpt is really weak. I didn't mind the Egon sculpt. I didn't mind the Ray sculpt all that much. It's still not great. But I feel like this sculpt isn't that great. I feel like it could be a hell of a lot better. And it's just not. Yeah, it's disappointing. The hair just kind of feels like an afterthought as well. Like it's matted onto his head. And somebody just like quickly painted over it with black and was just very careful not to go over the line. It reminds me of the same look that the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens Finn hair has, where it's just kind of like scriggly wagglies. And I hate it. But like I said, it's okay. It's not what I want, but it's okay, I guess. Is it worth me spending more money to upgrade to Blitzway? Maybe just like one or two. I think if I was to get anything from Blitzway, it would definitely be Winston here. And then I'd argue maybe Ray, because at least it has the ghost trap and the accessories. Moving on, we've got our suit here, which is pretty much the exact same as everybody else's. We've got the black undershirt. We've got the tan jumpsuit. You can see the word Zeddemore there. There's some pocket stuff going on here. It's pretty straightforward for the most part. Still no strap on the proton pack, which, you know, at this point, we've just come to accept is not happening. He's got a little padding inside. You can see he's got a little bump. But all in all, it's pretty simplistic outfit. We've got our lovely proton pack yet back again. Again, with nice battery accessories. Once again, turns on no problem. Looks really nice. This piece right here is going to be the death of me. This is going to fall off at some point. I haven't even touched it, and it's already like bending and breaking. Again, if you haven't already seen, CR 2032 batteries is exactly what you need. This piece disconnects right there, and you can easily pop those in. And it might not light up until you fully tighten it, but then once you get that all set and ready to go, then you'll have no problem getting the light on, and it looks really good. I like the way it flashes in a perfect circle, like the cyclotron is moving there. The lights on the blue look really good, and you can see it does heat up the actual front of neutrona wand, which again, just like the last, has a nice printed on sticker there. It's got your bips and bobs, green. It does have this on the front, did not fall off yet. All good. Nice weathering. It's definitely rubbed on metal. So it looks really nice overall. And again, there's just a button here on the bottom to shut it off. Other than that, we got our elbow pads here, which, what was I going to say? Elbow pads, which are nicely gray to break up that nice bit of tan. We've got our belt, which if we zoom in here, like we see on every other one, we've got these little dangly hookies. We've got our walkie-talkie, which is just chilling there. We've got our dangling bits and bobs here. We got the bits and we got the bobs. Everyone's got this noodle, and some of them are way more cooperative than others. This is not one of those cooperative ones. Egon and Ray's I got to sit cooperatively, but these two, not so much. And then from there, it is just pants, and then these solid piece black boots, like everybody else, which he can barely stand on because they're not split cut. And his legs are kind of wobbly. If I want to complain about something, it's the neck attachment here because of the way the head sculpt attaches, where it's just like the little plug and you pop it on. It's really annoying to get the shirt to go around it, and the head will just fall off at random times. So you then have the problem of, oh my god, the head sculpt just won't stay on because it's really loose, and you just want to like move it to the right or move it to the left, and then it pops off. I think that's bad design. However, they went out of their way on this one to use a black body, which is cool, I guess, but you don't see it. The only reason I know that is because when I took the hand off and I couldn't get it back on, I rolled up the sleeve a little bit and I went, oh, guess the body's black. That's cool. But other than that, it's just a swing and a mess for this guy so far. Not feeling too confident. Again, he'll look fine, but I think it could be a lot better, and that's the problem. I just wanted him to be the best Winston he could be, and they're not quite getting there. But, maybe he'll look better with the other two. So why don't we pull them out right now and put them all together. I don't know if it's just me on this one, but Bill Murray's got a big head. I don't know if I'm going crazy, if I'm just misremembering Bill Murray's abnormally sized head, but I feel like he's got an abnormally sized head compared to everybody else. Is it just me? Am I the only one seeing this? He's also a little bit bigger. He's got a little bit larger. He's got some more padding than everybody else, I think. So this is a weird one, because I feel like the head just looks out of scale with everybody else. Everything else looks fine, but the head sculpt. And again, it's looking okay at best. I can kind of see Bill Murray, but at the same time, I'm not quite seeing Bill Murray. So we'll have to really take a deep dive into this one and see if Bill Murray is, the guy we're looking at, or if it's Bill Murray's stunt double, William Murr. Anyway, let's get him off of the spinning turntable and on to the next part of the video. And once again, here is Peter Venkman, with, once again, the only accessories being the cool lightning rod of pink and yellow. That looks quite fun. I love it. I love this accessory. I don't think I'd be able to use it because it is just super long and really in the way. But I do like it. And then we have the sculpt. The Slimer's coming at me sculpt. And it is something. I think it's slightly too open. Again, the eyes go up just that little bit that I don't like, so it loses its front focus, so I kind of have to aim it down for it to look like he's looking at you. And I think it loses a lot of that resemblance to Bill Murray as soon as it opens his mouth. It's, again, and I feel like just this head is really big. Like, it's just, like, big and in the way and goofy, and oopsies. I feel like it's not working. Everyone else has a normal-sized head. I guess it's fine. Maybe it's the hair. Maybe it's because the hair is the way it is. We'll look at that when we get them all together, finally. But let's take a look at him himself. And the sculpt is, yeah. It looks weird. Like, it's like they had an image of Bill Murray in their mind, and they went, yeah, this is what he looks like. And they went with it. Because, like, from some angles, you can kind of get a bit Murray, Billy, but I don't know. It's just really not quite getting my attention. I'm not like, oh my god, it's Bill Murray. Like, I can kind of see it. Oh my god, look, it's Bill Murray. I feel like the reason these two came out afterwards is because they spent so much time on Egon and Ray that they just forgot to make these two, even though these went up for pre-order months earlier than the other two. Like, he's just got sad eyes. He's not happy. He doesn't have that happy, jovial Bill Murray look that he has in the whole movie. And I'm just not quite getting it. Which is really bumming me out, because Peter Venkman's my favorite. Which, probably a lot of people's favorite. But, like, he's my favorite. And to see this is just like bumming me out, man, because I wanted it to be the one, you know? I wanted this to be like, yeah, I feel good. Because I don't need to spend the extra money on Blitzway because I got this one, you know? And he's a little bit cheaper and I'm happy. But I'm just like, man, maybe I should have just waited and gone with Blitzway because I'm not quite getting the perfect look that I'm wanting here. It's okay. The hair design looks fine. It's nice and sculpted. I like the way his hair is receding and all but the front. But it's just like disappointing, you know? But enough about the sculpt. Again, big head sculpt, weird neck connection. It's annoying. We've got our jumpsuit, that tannish jumpsuit that everyone else has. Pretty straightforward. Peter, or just Venkman on the nameplate there, and that crisp red, which I love oh so dearly. On this side, we have our Ghostbuster patch. On the other side, we don't have a Ghostbuster patch. We've just got a nice little pocket. We've got some pockets and pads here. Pretty straightforward stuff. We've got our belt, which has the infamous walkie-talkie from the infamous walkie-talkie scene. Once again, we have our little hanging doodads. We've got our gizmo here, which I have no clue. And we've got the annoying tube of annoying spindlies. And back to the back, we have our proton pack, which looks really good. I love all the all the detailing on it. We've got our rainbow ribbon wires. We've got our cyclotron. We've got our neutrino wand. This backpack is where the money went because it looks so good. And if you haven't been paying attention, see our 2032s, you can turn this bad boy on with the bottom button, and it looks so good. I absolutely love the way this turned out. This is the reason to get this, because it is just really good. And again, every single time, this guy has been bent, so you just gotta gently, very gently bend it back as much as possible without breaking it. It's never going to bend back into the right spot, I don't think, without really being annoying. But it looks great, man. This proton pack is really good. Present Toys really put the effort into making this and just forgot that they had to make head sculpts. They did a really good job at making the costume and the proton pack, but not the head sculpt. And that's really annoying. Maybe, if you're lucky, you get your hands on some Blitzway sculpts and kind of solve this problem. But maybe not, you know? Other than that, like I said, the belts. Then we've just got these little pants. We've got some pocket stuff going on here. And the boots that everyone else has, non-split cut and kind of loose at the ankles. So he just wants to fall over all the time. So it gets a little obnoxious. And just a little tedious, because I don't know, they're definitely going to need display bases, because they just do not stand on their own. The proton pack is too heavy, and they can't do it. But, you know, all in all, not the worst thing I've ever opened. Not my favorite. I really wanted this to be my favorite. But it's like a so close to being good, but just like that one major thing holding it back that really annoys me the most. But that's, again, always been Present Toys' problem. Everything is fine except for the head sculpt. But why don't we move on and see all of our Ghostbusters together finally, because we've been waiting long enough for that, and I'm excited to see if maybe just seeing the four together will offset my complaints overall. The bases are really large, so I can't really get them to stand all next to each other, and they don't all stand next to each other because they don't want to stand normally. Here they are! Finally, all together, we have all four Ghostbusters. And it's only now that I'm realizing that for some reason Peter's pants aren't tucked in. And now I'm wondering if that's a feature or something in the movie I don't remember. So while I talk about this, I'm going to pull up images from the movie and see if I'm just misremembering, or if that's just something that came in wrong. But yes, I'm so excited to have all of these guys finally together. It's been a long ride, and it's been a lot of ups and downs, A lot of things have happened over the time we've taken to wait for this momentous day to happen. And apparently, there's just no images of his legs out. I just found one where his boots are almost showing, but they're not. This is really obnoxious, actually. I mean, it looks like his boots are tucked in, at least in the poster that I can see his legs. Like, this one cuts off right at his leg. Look at this. It cuts off right at his legs. So I can't even see what I'm looking for. But I'm so happy to finally have my Ghostbusters together. I love Ghostbusters, and I'm so happy. Alright, so the Hasbro one has his legs down as well. So it must be a movie thing, and I just don't remember it. This is a great day. They're not perfect. They're not perfect at all. But they look really good, and I happy team together finally. But we must move on to articulation, everybody's favorite part of every video. So without the proton pack on, we can do a life-ending 360 degrees up. So his neck isn't really connected. I'm going to have to re-glue that, which is a shame. So up that far and down that far and back and forth. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes up that far and back that far. Good elbow bend. I'm going to take this off for now just in case. He's got some crunch action. Legs spread nicely. Leg goes up that far. Leg goes back that far. Knee bend and no ankle articulation. Obviously, you're not going to get that much articulation. Well, you'll still probably get all of that articulation except for the backward stuff with the proton pack and Neutrona one on, so you shouldn't really have to worry overall, and he can hold all of those cool ghost-busting poses you could possibly need him to hold. But now, let us slide off and make our way to the end of the video. Funny that it's Egon the one to have his head fall off, since he's the one who's dead, you know? So, life ending 360 degrees. Up. Yeah. So, with backpack, arm goes up that far. Ooh, that was up that far. Back that far. You do get some crunch action there, which is always nice. You get some spread action. You get some leg up action, but not too far. You get some leg back action, which is none. Knee bends like a knee bend should. And the ankle is pretty much stuck there for the rest of time. But I mean, Ray's not doing much action moves. He's pretty much just going to hold his ghost-busting equipment and try not to lose his head. Why don't we take Ray here to the end of the video so I can get him back on a stand so he can stand without being unhappy. So, same problem we've had with everybody else. The head is loose, so we can get our 360 of a life end, but you just got to be careful to not lose the head. Like that. Up kind of that far, down kind of that far. Back and forth, but your head's going to try to leave the whole time, so just be very careful. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes back that far. And elbow bend. Not bad. You do get some crunch. There's some nice padding in there. You get some leg spread. Leg goes up that far. Leg doesn't really go back all that much. A little bit more than a 90 at the knee. And there is no ankle articulation to be found. And I just crunched this little piece. So now I'm going to have to re-glue that at some point. I'm going to blame the Ghostbusters. There must have been a ghoul in the room because I would have never broken this on my own. And we'll just tuck it in and hope nobody ever notices. But now we have to take Winston here to the end of the video. And here we have Peter Venkman with a life-ending 360 degrees. Up that far and down that far. Head does not want to stay on there. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes up that far. And back that far. 90 at the elbow. There's a bit of crunch. God, this guy is wiggly. Spread about that much. Careful not to lose your head, Dr. Venkman. Leg goes up that far. Leg goes back none. Knee bend. Pretty good. And again, no articulation at the ankle, which is a shame. Because these guys really do not want to stand up ever without that display base. So why don't we take Dr. Venkman here and wrap up this video. And if you're here for the mega video, let's wrap that up now. Boy, getting all of these guys to sit on the spinning turntable is crazy. The jerry-rigging I had to do here just to get them on here is stupid. They don't stand on their own at all. The backpack is too heavy for their feetsies. This guy started falling apart on me. His head just doesn't want to stay on. Peter is huge. I don't know what it is. He just looks bigger than everybody else no matter what I do. His head is huge. I've tried. It just looks silly. But I love them. They all have their own personality and charm. And once I can take the time to really work with every single one of these guys and kind of iron them out, you know, gets Winston his arms to work so he can hold his neutrona wand properly, get Peter Venkman's head to look so less stupid, I feel like we can at least have a solid enough team where I'm content. Because, I mean, it's so close. I just don't even know where to put them because they're just so, like, awkward right now, at least right now. So that's a big problem to solve, is figuring out where Captain Awkwards here are going to go. But, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy I have all four of them. Are they perfect? No. Have I, you know, got them all? Yeah. Am I happy enough? For now, yeah, I think I am. I think the only way at this point, unless I really, for some reason, succumb to the Blitzway thing, I think the only way I would get another set of Ghostbusters right now is if somebody made the Ghostbusters 2 Ghostbusters. I want all of that stuff. I think I said it previously. The only way I would get that is if Ghostbusters 2 Ghostbusters happened. Other than that, maybe Afterlife stuff, but that's about it. Other than that, I think I'm content enough with these guys where I'm not like clamoring to grab another set of Ghostbusters, despite them, you know, obviously being better. It's got more behind it, but it's a bit more expensive. And because I missed out on the special edition so quickly, I don't get the cool things like Slimer. But if you get the special edition, whatever, on 1/6 Outfitters, it comes with like that police barricade. So I'm tempted by that a little bit. So we'll have to see. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. What happened now, as of now, is I have 4 Ghostbusters in my collection to some extent of quality and variety. And I'll have to take that for now. I'm glad you could join me on, if you've made it this far, to this super duper review of 4 Ghostbusters. I know it's a long one, but you know, some people just like to put on a video and let it run. Especially because I know I have 4 individual Ghostbusters, but sometimes it's just easier to watch it all in one sitting. You just digest it all at once. And here they are, all together, looking a variety of different ways. God, every time Winston goes around, I get scared. I mean, just look at his eyes. Ready? Just look at this. That's fear. That's fear incarnate. But I'm happy. I'm happy where we've gotten here. And if these videos have helped you make a decision whether, you know, you're picking up these guys or the Blitzway ones, I'm glad it did. I'm glad that I could help your opinion along just that little bit. And, you know, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe, because the channel's been doing nicely recently. These Ghostbusters videos have done some good for me, and I'm really enjoying making them. They're really fun. and I'm helping the people. So I'll keep making videos as long as you keep guys liking them and making me make them. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. As long as you guys keep watching them, I'm gonna keep making them, and that's pretty much if and or but about it. That's the fun of it. I love making these, and I love making them for you guys. And with all of that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching this super duper long, super mega review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.